Hello, everyone. Lovely to see you. So let's welcome this fresh moment, relaxing our habitual tendencies, whatever they are, letting go of the past, letting go of the future, sort of being open to not knowing, being open to being, which is this silent presence, this formless awareness. Borderless awareness, stilled, and somehow alive. Everything appears within this awareness. The breath, sensations within the body, an open field, an open space. That embraces everything. At zero distance. So allow yourself to sink into this peace. Awareness is always aware. You know that you are, that there is something rather than nothing. Takes on the form of a hearing right now. Takes on the form of the warmth of the body. While remaining formless. Your primary experience is that of awareness, being. Not being somebody, but pure, effortless being. The only reality. Which is love, freedom, and beauty. Because everything is yourself. Everyone is yourself. When the mind is quiet and still, and you are resting, knowing yourself as awareness, consciousness, there is peace and fullness. No questions, everything is answered. The answer is this silence, which is love, this effortless presence, which is love. Nothing is excluded. But when you refer to yourself via the past, you refer to yourself as somebody. And immediately unhappiness is on board. The root cause of unhappiness is that belief, the identification with the past, the identification with the body mind, the history. The me, belief and feeling, the separate self, belief and feeling. We don't enjoy this unhappiness We seek freedom and peace. And not knowing or overlooking that the freedom and the peace is our true nature, we seek it out there. We seek it in relationship, in objects, in states, in various phenomenal experiences. Accumulation of medals, things. We seek praise, recognition. The primary addiction is the addiction to the belief that I am somebody. But the alternative from the perspective of the mind is unbearable. To be nobody. It is unbearable, fearful. And as a result, we grasp onto things. We grasp onto whatever it is that can maintain a sense of me. When we are seeking experiences in order to maintain the sense of me, trying to fill the emptiness, trying to find happiness in something. This process is addictive, is an addiction. Addiction to experiences, to sensations, to pleasures. Or addiction to stories. We often repeat stories. We repeat the past. We repeat various narratives about me, about him or her, about our tribe. Only to maintain a phenomenal aspect to ourself. Something that we can bite our teeth in. Something that we can display or own or identify with. Because from the perspective of the discursive mind, silence is unbearable. Stillness is unbearable. So we grasp on to something One could even refer to this endless seeking as an addiction as well. A form of attachment to enlightenment in the future, or projecting that maybe one day I will be like him or like her. Very subtle form of personal identification, maintaining the me story. But what is it to be without any story, without the past, without any narrative? Not thinking about it, but the actuality of it. This openness, this freedom. It is said that being nobody, you are everybody. Being nothing, you are everything. Do we understand that? What is it to be nobody, nobody in particular? To be no one in particular? But there is an addiction to the past, to images, to sensations that prevents us, seemingly prevents us from pure being, from letting go of this teeny tiny thing that we still hold on to. What is that? To find out in your own life, in your own experience, what is it that you're still holding on to in this moment, always in this moment? What are you holding on to? What for? For whom? For what purpose? What design? The mind can be very convincing, but it doesn't deliver the goods. It's always promising something in the future, isn't it? But the future promises are pie in the sky. Pie in the sky. And yet here we are. As what? Here we are as particular individuals, or here we are as this invisible, formless awareness. What is it? Do we need to reach for objects, for things to hold on to, a promise, a sensation, an old pleasure, a future accomplishment? Is this how we want to live? In the mind, projecting stuff, imagining things. And at the core of all this is this me, this limited me, this great me, or poor me, or miserable me, or depressed me, or is this who we are serving, who we are devout to, devoted to? This me character with its accomplishments or its failures or its BS. Is that is that the juice of our life? What about the elephant in the room? You, you as this. There are no words for it, but this presence, this self-knowingness, this knowingness, this formless, non-phenomenal beingness. And we're addicted to our stories, our misery, addicted to our pain, addicted to our sorrow, our persona. What is that? What is all that stuff? Where is it right now? What is it? So we say yes to freedom, yes to being, yes to no past, being not knowing, the ocean. I am the ocean. The vastness, the love, the availability. the effortless presence. So we can delight in this world of form while remaining formless, to celebrate, to enjoy, to being grateful for the play, knowing that nothing is at stake. So if you have any questions, anything that you would like to discuss, please make sure you unmute yourself and you're welcome to raise your hand. So any questions?
Hey, Magdi, it's Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Hi. Can you talk about uh, feelings, like the really deep feelings of, like one that keeps coming up lately is shame. I realized I was shamed very early on in my life, especially by my dad. And I still carry it. It's like a boulder inside me. And then I realize sometimes because I have that, I sort of almost create situations to feel that. It seems that way. It seems like I'm seeking out situations that'll bring me shame and then feel the feeling. Is so can you just talk about that? Like just heavy feelings like shame, fear is another one, but and guilt, but especially shame right now. How do you get rid of it? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, there are patterns which we inherit from a young age. They're part of the me at the feeling level. So it operates. So shame or being a helper or being worthless, whatever, uh, is being downloaded at a young age, and we're identified with uh, lesser lesser worth, self worth, like a negative self worth, not good enough. All of these things, they're inevitable because the me virus, the sense of separation, is passed on from generation to generation to generation. It's very rare for a parent to be with their, or parents to be with their children free from that virus and not pass it on to their children. But even in the case where it's possible for parents to be enlightened to that process and avoid it in their family, it's in school, in relationship with other children, with other parents, with other people. You pick it up, it's passed on to you. Because shame refers to a lesser me. Oh, shame on you. Shame on you as what? As a me, as a shame on you as a personal self. How how could you have done that? Shame on you. Because I'm a me, and so I see you as a you, as a separate self. I experience myself as a separate self and you as a separate self. So I can see you and perceive you as a shame on you, but not, of course, not shame on me. No, no, no. But shame on you. It's miserable. It's awful. It is so unloving. It's bullshit, you know. It's really how we treat each other and how we manipulate, we try to manipulate each other, playing with each other's feelings, especially in family, and it has to do with maintaining a good me, a better me, or a more safe, stable sense of me, which is complete falsehood, ignorance, unhappiness, spreading unhappiness. cultivating unhappiness. So how do we get to the freedom from shame? Well, we get the freedom from the me. Who who are you saying shame on you? You tell me shame on you. What you, what me? I have to buy into it. If I buy into, yes, shame on me, whatever that me is, if I buy into it, okay, well, then I'm not interested really in the freedom from that. Instead, I'm going to tell you, well, the hell with you, shame on you, not shame on me. So I play the game of me and you, but that doesn't bring freedom from shame, freedom from shame, from guilt, is to see through it, to see the charade, the me and you charade. Who are you? You are the same reality as I am, the same awareness as I am. Who am I? Well, what am I in this moment? Am I that which I perceive? Of course not. I am awareness. I am consciousness. Shame on consciousness? Excuse me? What? Shame on reality? Shame on God? Shame on what is it that's speaking? We have to see the nonsense of it. If we don't, then we get caught in it. Then we're rebelling, ghosts. You put water on the duck doesn't get wet. Shame on you is like putting water on the duck. You are the duck, you don't get wet. You meaning you as consciousness. Not you, the body whose name is Frank, or because right now it's Frank, but then Jimmy is experiencing the same thing about shame. It's not you as Frank, it's you as consciousness. So you don't get wet. You are like the duck. But imagine the duck is dreaming that it's a sponge. And now you put water on the sponge, and now the duck is experiencing that they are drowning because this wet sponge is gonna, or it can't breathe anymore. It's soaked with water. Cannot fly. It's soaked with water. It's full of water. So it's similarly, when you imagine yourself to be Frank and you're buying into the narrative that I'm Frank, then the shame on me, shame on you, uh, uh, gets a hold of you. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I do, Magdi. I do, and I sort of like knew the answer, but I really wanted to hear it from you today because there's some doubting going on and all that, and I was waiting to hear something, even something I've heard before that I could listen to in a different way now, and I think I did. It really that helped a lot.
Yes.
I love the analogy you use. Really, very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah, just cutting it off at the root. There is no separate self that could feel shame. There's
Yes.
some kind of things that we call shame. It's appearing right in this awareness thing that we all are, that I am and you are. So, but that's not anything that belongs to me, right? It's just you cut it off there, that they can't spread out into other
right.
branches, right?
I mean, shame on you. You is the illusory character, some imaginary you, because consciousness doesn't apply. Shame on consciousness doesn't apply. So shame on you as an imaginary character. Then the shame is also imaginary because it's applying to an imaginary character. Okay, well, who cares? I'm not moved by shaming some imaginary character. What does it have to do with me? It's completely irrelevant. You have to sort of get to see that.
Hey, Magdi, quick.
Yes.
Just to ask a quick question about this. Do you think there's any cause and effect in this at all? Like, so the storyline is that, I grew up with a certain family. My dad was very shaming and all this other stuff. So that's the story that sort of led up to how I feel today, or whatever feeling showing up today. But is that an actual thing? Like, or since there is no cause and effect. So was I already like born with that shame inside me, or whatever, or in my experience of that self, that body, mind, self, was that come with it? And I don't even know how important this is to know, but I think it might take away some of the blame I have for carrying this stuff around.
Yeah. Well, you don't choose your thoughts, right? They appear to you. Your thoughts are impersonal. They're universal thoughts. They appear to you. And your behavior, your speech, and your action, which is triggered by the thoughts that appear to you, is also impersonal. So, but if that applies to you, it applies to your father as well. So, it's not your father who was shaming you. It's the universe who was playing the game via your father because of thoughts that appeared to your father were not his. He was not manufacturing his own thoughts. His thoughts were impersonal, universal. So therefore, it was not your father who was shaming you. It's the universe via the instrument of your father who was playing the game of shaming you. First, it's the universe who is playing all games, including the game of ignorance, meaning the me game. The me download is not downloaded by your father or by society, although we speak this way. It's downloaded by the cosmos, by the universe, by consciousness. It's consciousness play. This is why we say there is really no reality to ignorance. It's the game that consciousness is playing. So yes, you can let go of the blame of your father, like you let go of the blame of yourself, because you're not choosing your own thoughts. There's no need to blame yourself. No judgment. You can let go of the blame of your father, because your father did not decide, his thoughts did not decide, okay, now I'm going to blame my son Frank, you see, or shame my son Frank. He was just part of the cosmos, part of the universe, shaming you and making sure that you experience the shame, and the shame download gets downloaded and becomes part of the you, part of your personality, part of the me, which is pretty intricate structure of sensations, beliefs, and thoughts, and feelings, and memories, and at the body level, and memories within the body, and the cellular memory, somatic memory. yeah, you can just love your father. That's between the option of blaming your father and loving your father. Loving is always go for love. It's a winner.
Yeah, that's really really nice. You know, I actually took a deep breath when you said that, Magdi. I mean, when you talked about that it's just conscious, it's just apparent, however you put it, that it
Yeah.
wasn't my dad actually having those thoughts himself. It just he was kind of mouthing them as if almost like he's like a receiver of I
Yeah,
don't know of information and
that's
just lets it go, right? So
right.
yeah, that really there was a physical effect in my body when you said that. I actually took a deep breath, like
Yes,
automatically. So
yes,
something really caught wind of
yes,
that.
yes. And and and
Thanks, Max.
and be grateful for consciousness revealing itself to you. I,
Yeah.
you know, consciousness is hidden in plain sight, but sometimes it unveils itself. Be grateful for the unveiling.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's
Yeah,
that's the shift. That's
absolutely.
that's how the virus
Yeah.
is healed and is not, passed on,
Yeah, it's coming from you, Maggie. You're the one that's passing this on to us. That's just like, how thankful could we be, Ultimately, I mean, just infinitely, right? To that body mind we call Maggie.
Yes,
Who's myself, who's also myself.
I right. I right. Like you, I share what's been revealed or being spoken or being expressed through this instrument. This, yes, yes.
Awesome. Thanks, Maggie. Appreciate it. I'll
Okay,
mute here.
okay, Frank. Any questions? Hello, Uli.
So that last thing really resonated with me because it took me until my mother died, which was 2 years ago, to let go of the shame that she had passed on to me. And by recognizing that she was as much of a victim as I was of that shame, that it healed our relationship and I could turn that into love.
Mm,
That was the first time I've ever really loved my mother, was just
mm,
before she died. And it was so freeing. And yeah, so thank
mm.
you. That was a very good talk.
Thank you. That's beautiful. I'm glad, Uli. I'm glad. Uh, I had a similar thing with my father. It took years to sort of, uh, although I understood that he had no choice anyway, but still, in spite of that, it took a while to sort of really let it go.
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions?
Hello, Magdi.
Hello, Holger.
I just, I just wanted to say, what a shame that there's ignorance.
Shame on ignorance. Shame on consciousness.
Yeah, quite amazing.
Holger, when are you going to start your professional comedian career? I'm waiting.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. just gratitude. It's really beautiful. The more and more I can see, there's more like a gap between, I can see mind, how it runs on autopilot. And it's such a release, such a freeing thing to feel the space between this automatic response and to see that it's just a program running on its own.
Yes. And it's just a play. It's just a play of consciousness. The program running on its own has nothing to do with you, meaning it does not say anything about you. It doesn't reveal anything about you as this consciousness, this awareness. And when we adopt the program, when we get on board with the program, when we get into our reactivity and we express it, we put on those shoes and we act out, our indignation or whatever we act out. That also is a play of consciousness, and the unhappiness that comes along with acting that way is also one of the messages that consciousness is giving to itself. Say, okay, we want to play the bitter game. We want to play the game of unhappiness. And the message that comes to us, meaning from consciousness to consciousness, the message that comes with says, no, I'm not interested in playing this game of unhappiness. I've played it long enough. I am not going to play that game. And that's that. Yes, and that's that. And that's that. Okay. Fine. Okay. So what game do you want to play? I want to play the game of happiness, love, sweetness, understanding. No worries and concern, no troubles and regrets about the past or worries about the future. That's the game I want to play, and that's it. I'm stubborn about that. Okay. You're it. You are it. Boom, you've been tagged. You're it. That's it. What your desires will be fulfilled.
Yes.
Because these desires are not about a me. They're about love, freedom, happiness, joy. And that applies to the entire field, to the entire realm, not to a particular entity. You've elevated the game. You have the trump card. You pulled the trump card. Not that trump, but the other trump. We cannot use the word trump anymore. Yes.
In regard to addiction, I remember several times in my past, I mean, many decades ago, where I so struggled with smoking, wanting to stop to smoke, for example, or smoking, I mean, cigarettes or pot, or there was just so much, I didn't know presence. I only knew my thinking and feeling. And it's just so precious to be aware, or to be nothing, to not needing to hold on to anything.
Yes.
This is such a gift.
Yes. Because nothing is everything.
Yeah.
The nothingness is not an emptiness, it's a fullness, it's a wholeness. Yes. And from the perspective of the mind, is a great hesitation about this nothingness. It's like it's like a black void or something like that from the perspective of the mind. But from the perspective of understanding, from the perspective of consciousness, is formless awareness. Formlessness is reality. No thingness is reality. So you have to somehow invite the mind to, okay, look, it's okay. You can trust God. You can trust truth, you know. But you mean like nothing? Say no. It's not nothing. It's peace. It's love. It's happiness. Oh, okay. So it's then an experience that I'm gonna have, right? Not really. Not really. It's what you are. What I am. So it's this sort of inner conversation about it at some point. And the relaxation, you know, you say, all right, look, fine, just relax. Just relax. And not like every day we go to deep sleep, you know, and that it's a state, it's a body-mind state. But yet this body-mind state, which is like a sort of a dimming down of the activities of the world, body, mind, is essential. It's a big hint, you know, that consciousness is giving us in the game, saying, here is a big hint. You have those three states, okay? Which one that you really, really, really love? Deep sleep is, it's, oh yeah, deep sleep. On the money, honey, right? It's just a metaphor. It's just a metaphor because consciousness realizing itself, its wholeness, its totality, its entirety, the entire game, the entire set, the entire doing, the entire manifestation, and the unmanifest. That realization is not like deep sleep. It's like wakeful deep sleep. So wakeful deep sleep. Anyways, words are relative.
Yeah.
Reality is absolute. Absolute. And as reality, you are the boss. What you want will manifest. And manifests, not will manifest, manifests. But then you ask yourself, as reality, as infinity, as the only reality, what do I really want? It's a good question. Yeah, maybe I want to have this conversation, you know, Magdi and Holger having this conversation. Okay, bingo. What is it you love? I love truth. Okay, so here's a conversation about truth. Boom. But knowing yourself nominally, non-phenomenally, meaning consciousness knowing itself, is unsurpassable. Unsurpassable.
and nothing is missing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you, Magdi.
Any questions? Hello, Esther.
Hi, Magdi.
Yes.
Thanks so much for Sangha today. It's been beautiful. I heard on YouTube this morning someone say, be the floodlight, not the spot.
Be the
Be the floodlight. Be
floodlight.
the
Yes.
floodlight and not the spot.
What's the meaning of spot?
Well, a spotlight, like
Oh, spot. Yes, spot.
to
Yes.
get the attention, like sharp attention.
Yes. Be the floodlight, not the spotlight. Yes.
It really felt, I could feel that, and I'm very aware these days that those patterns of addiction may always be with me, and they continue to appear. But I've also learned, with great help from you, to be the floodlight and when I remain where I belong, the addictions I know don't have as much power. They just don't have the power they used to have. So I'm so grateful for that. But I gotta stay put. That's for sure.
God's light shines through us. It shines onto everything and everyone. The same light, the same. And it's sufficient unto itself. Because it is love. There is no higher than love. Love is absolute. The biggest, or the source of all addiction is the me addiction. Like you say, the spotlight. So when you say stay put, meaning to notice that tendency wanting to sort of arise again, the me thought, the me feeling, you have available to you that which you are. This infinite love, this boundless presence, this formless awareness. It's right there, available to you, always, always. We are one as that. We are everything as that. It's instant gratification, instant gratification. instantly the peace, the well-being, the freedom. It's nothing that you really need to do. It's just consciousness turning its attention onto itself. Because it has unveiled itself. So we recognize that unveiling. And the mind may take some time to get on board, but we are very clear about that which really matters, about that which is real. The mind operates in the realm of form, but seeking anything real or any happiness in the realm of form is in vain. It's fully revealed. There is no distance between us. Any questions? Okay, very lovely to be with you all. Thank you for your company, for your love, for your friendship. Philomene, Holger, Lisa, Esther, Uli, Charles, Rula, Frank, Bill, Renate, Laura, Mina, Holly, John, Varsha, Ellen, Kunel, Ed, Gita, Nina, and Jackie. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. Thank you all.
Thank you, Magdi.